Okay, so that absolutely does not belong there. Welcome back, guys, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I am your host, Broncos Guru, in collaboration with our boy Wavy Boats, and it's another Wavy Guru Productions back down here at Boynton. And my man full sent it. That's it. He just full sent it. He thought he had a big enough snorkel, and that gamble just didn't pay off. And they are soaked. It's definitely one way to try and wash your Jeep down here at Boynton, and you definitely use a lot of rust away on the end of this one because this salt water is going to have absolute heck on this car right here. So this car is back down the ramp. They were launching a boat and things obviously went wrong. We're actually catching the tail end of this here. If you can't tell, it's kind of bobbing now. It's because it's already hooked up to the tow truck and we are about to tow this thing out. And these images were actually hooked up to us by our good friend Dean from Paddle Away Sports, which is actually located right here at the boat ramp in Boynton. So sometimes if something happens before we get down here, Dean's able to catch it and get us these images. But once again, this is not the way anybody wants to start their boating day. And unfortunately for this guy, it's not been his day. And here comes our crew and on approach, and they're coming a little wide, which is definitely not a good idea on this end slip, as there's rocks over here to the right that are just submerged underwater, which can cause some issues for many of our boaters as they approach. And these guys are coming real wide. Our cap looks like he's going to grab the wheel here, there, and try and straighten this thing back out, though. Fender's out a little late to the game as well. I didn't see any lines necessarily, but that's typical. We're in South Florida. Nobody comes out prepared. This crew makes the scramble. She goes off, but that's going to give us the kickoff as she pulls the bow in, and that stern's going to kick out toward the rock. Somebody needs to get a line over there, and we've got one, but this is a whole lot closer than you think on this ramp. Those rocks were probably within a foot of this vessel. And once again, it's one of those ones that can cause some damage. It's kind of unexpected because you can't really see them. But this crew will get this one tied off and we'll get away with a close call on this one. And Cap's backing the truck down, but he's struggling just a little bit, which is kind of surprising. They had no issues when they came in here docking, so I figured they kind of had it down where they knew what they were doing a little bit. And Cap's just having a little bit of a tough time with the trailer. Not too bad. He looks like he's got it corrected now, and he may be getting on the right path, but he's still pretty close to the dock right here. And he's going to try and pull this thing out from the dock, it looks like a little bit, which is probably the right move. But man, he's calling it close. Oh, you think he hit in the front. Oh man, if he didn't hit, that was the closest I've seen to somebody hitting and actually not hitting the dock. I mean, that front tire was right on it. Whew, that was a close one, and see if Cap checks. It doesn't look like he's really going to give a look. I figured he might give a look and see if he hit, so maybe he just missed. And our guys finally got this jet ski tied off, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and go for the pullout. It was sitting a little weird. The rear's kind of not been sitting right on the trailer, it didn't look like, but I mean, he finally got it on. He had to fight the well, that's why I wasn't sitting right on the trailer. It's because he missed. It's tough to tell sometimes because the jet ski trailers are so far underwater that I couldn't tell what was going on. He just was having struggles when he was trying to load this thing, and I guess I see why now. Other than that, it may have floated off the stern during the time period it took for him to walk from the ski to the car. But he's going to try and manhandle this one back down, so we're not going to actually see him try and re-drop this and see if he can just pull it over. We're just going to straight power it. And, I mean, it's still a 1,000-pound ski, but my man gets it back to right. And he looks pretty good. But he's going to come back to the rear, and it looks like we're going to do some setup right here on the ramp, which is never the place to do this. If you've got to make some adjustments, I mean, the quick adjustment he made there is understandable on the ramp because you're not sure at that point in time if you're going to have to back down the ramp to do that. He was able to fix it there, but now we're going to throw some rear straps on, but this easily could be done in the staging area versus holding up a ramp. And if you can't tell, there are trucks and vehicles in line waiting for ramps right now. But at least we know one thing. We won't see this guy on another social media forum with people saying, hey, look, he's trailering with no straps, which seems to be the thing right now. our crew's coming in, making their approach. And Cap's taking the slow roll approach as he starts to approach the dock here. Looks like we are getting a little prepped. We're getting some lines pulled out, which is a good sign. Not something we see all that often down here at 79th or Boynton or Black Point. So they're at least getting it to that point and that far. But the captain, I mean, he really is. He's picking the right side. At least you can see the flag in the background. The wind and the current are kind of pulling into that right. So he just needs to line it up a little bit, and he should drift right into this dock. But he's heading that way. Tell you what, one of the impressive things is look at this boat above him. This is one of the biggest boats I've seen down here at Boynton. And this is one of the slower approaches we've seen today. But once again, there's nothing wrong with using a little caution. And our cap's going to jump off. And we should be on the dock here. And he's going to tie it off. And it appears somebody's put the boat in reverse. I couldn't see if it was the young lady in the white shirt or if it was the gentleman when he walked by accidentally maybe hit it. But Cap is not happy that it happened. I'd have to go back and look at a replay to see who actually did it. But the girl in the white shirt kind of walked up right after the fact, but it looked like it happened when the gentleman in the blue shorts kind of walked past it. I'm wondering if he didn't accidentally hit it. But Cap was not having it right there. He was actually pretty mad that it happened. And, you know, things happen down at the boat ramp. You just got to kind of get used to it a little bit. We try and stay as calm as we can, but as we've seen from watching these videos, me saying staying calm at the ramp is a whole lot easier than actually accomplishing that. And even me being a boater, I still from time to time can get flustered and get frustrated down at the ramp pretty quick because you kind of feel like everybody should know what they're doing, and unfortunately they just don't. And that includes like people in my crew, you know, but that's my fault as a captain. I'm the one who needs to direct them on what they need to be doing. And if I don't do that, well, that's my issue. And it's kind of like this situation here as well. I mean, sure, he didn't direct anybody to put this boat into reverse, but if I'm the captain and left the helm with the motor still running, that's kind of my fault. I mean, he doesn't need the motor running at this point. He could have had it turned off. He should have had the kill switch on his person, which would have turned it off the second he tried to get off the boat. And then none of these issues like this would have happened. But as the captain, if you're going to leave the helm, you're leaving the mercy of your boat to the people who are on board. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at Haulover Inlet. My channel, Broncos Guru, we do some great comedy boating videos over there as well. And of course, we've got Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet in Miami, Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.